This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Welcome to the Glazov Gang. This is the Nonie Darwish moment. It's been 15 years since 9/11, and until today, the West is still totally divided as to the Islamic invasion. Even when it comes to terrorism, we're still divided. And Muslims are pouring into the West, but there are no Christians or Jews on the other side. They are not allowed to live there. So it's a one-way invasion. Until today, the Muslim world have not admitted to the culture that have produced worldwide terrorism. Yes, Osama bin Laden did take responsibility. After all, he was killed. But the culture of terror is still going on today, and is getting stronger. And this is because terrorism is really not about Osama bin Laden. It's in Islamic scriptures. It's in Islamic schools. It's in the media, the Arab media. It's in mosques. It's in preaching. It's everywhere in the Middle East. So terrorism is how Islam handles jihad. Jihad and terrorism go hand in hand. Islam wants to terrorize its prey, its goal, the nation it wants to conquer. It wants to chase it just like a prey. Terrorize it, gets it tired, gets it to feel that terrorism is normal, that it's weakened, and terrorism becomes a way of life, and people eventually get used to it. So this kind of way of life of normalizing terrorism is the goal of Islam. And this is how terrorism gets free nations to surrender. Normalizing terrorism in America is the goal of Islam. And unfortunately, the Obama administration is telling us there is nothing to fear about Islam, and we should not be afraid, and Islam and terrorism is not an existential threat. That's what we're told. Obama's first reaction after every act of terror is, I don't see anger. I don't see him genuinely angry and hurt that Americans are being killed. In fact, he is more angry at Americans who dare say this is terrorism, who dare say any connection between terrorism and Islam. That's when I see his anger. Even John Kerry recently told the media, the American media, to stop covering all the terrorism attacks because he doesn't want American people to know and get alarmed about all the terrorism going on all over the world. Well, what they are advocating to not talk about terrorism is exactly what has happened in the Middle East. The Lebanese know what it means. Christian Lebanese know what it means to normalize terrorism. It's now normal in Lebanon. It's normal all over the Middle East. Is that what John Kerry wants? It's very disheartening for me because I come from that of the world. And I lived in the terror. I heard bombing, and it became normal. We little kids used to go play right after we hear the bombing because it became normal. Is that how we want to bring up our children in America? To walk, hear some explosions, some terrorist attack, and go like nothing happens? This is normalizing terrorism is the goal of Islam. Constant terrorism kills the soul of a nation. It kills the freedom of a nation and its ability to fight. And that's what Islam wants. Instead of fighting each other and splitting over finding excuses for terrorism, that's what we're doing. We're fighting excuses for terrorism instead of fighting the actual terrorism. In fact, Theodore Roosevelt understood the danger of Islam much better than most of our political leaders today. This is what he said about Islam. Christianity is not the creed of Asia and Africa. At this moment, solely because the 7th century Christians of Asia and Africa had trained themselves not to fight, where the Muslims were trained to fight. Christianity was saved in Europe solely because the people of Europe fought the Muslims. Europe would at this moment be Muslim and the Christian religion would be exterminated. I think Teddy Roosevelt would be rolling in his grave if he hears what Obama tells Americans about Islamic terrorism. Teddy Roosevelt predicted that if we do not fight, we will lose to Islam. The same way Middle Eastern Christians and Jews lost to Islam and lost their homeland. Instead of fighting the Islamic culture of terrorism after 9/11, we gave the Muslim world the best gift possible. We gave it Obama. We elected Obama, the man who wants to normalize Islamic terrorism in America. And now Obama repeats all the negative descriptions of America to the whole world. He talks very negatively wherever he goes outside of the country, and he shames America and he apologizes for America. Just lately, he spoke in Laos and he said that Americans are lazy. He also criticized the Republican nominee, Donald Trump, and called him names in foreign land. This is unprecedented because Donald Trump could be the future president of the United States. Why is he belittling America and future presidents to the world? This is a trend by the far left in America, and I've seen what CNN was advocating when I was in Europe and when I was in Egypt, and I saw the propaganda against Bush and against the Republicans, belittling them, calling them names. So this is what Obama himself is doing, calling Americans names, blaming America, apologizing for America. This is unprecedented, and it's very sad because after 9/11, my hope was we will unite. Unfortunately, we're divided, and we're still divided 15 years after 9/11. Thank you for watching, and please support the Glazov Gang. Go to jamieglazoff.com and support him. Thank you very much.